They crawled into bed with me, and I laid there with them. And Sarah looked at me and said, "Daddy's dead, isn't he?" And I said, "Yeah, he is." And we laid there and we sobbed. I mean, how do you tell your kid that their father's dead? It's the hardest thing I ever had to do, and I think will ever do. Because you're changing their world forever. Their life will never, ever be the same.
Elizabeth and Sarah Bruno's world changed in March 2009 when their father, Mark, died suddenly from an undiagnosed brain tumor.
He was the best dad ever. They were always on his lap. Very affectionate, very emotional. His presence is missed.
What I probably miss most about him is probably his really big hugs.
The Bruno girls are not alone in their grief. About 1 in 7 young Americans will lose a parent or sibling by the time they're 20 years old. The emotional and financial impact on their young lives can be severe. Feelings of isolation, especially at school, a common problem.
I felt like people were just trying to avoid me. It was like I was weird because my dad died, and sometimes I really just don't want to be near people, and sometimes I just want to hide in a shell because it's really upsetting.
Many surviving parents are at a loss with how to help their children and feel there are not enough resources to help them and their grieving family.
Children with unresolved grief may be 5 times more likely to die by suicide, 9 times more likely to drop out of school, and 20 times more likely to have a behavioral disorder. So investing in bereaved children and teens early has a tremendous impact in preventing lifelong issues and problems for children, families, and society.
But societal taboos relating to death, and especially talking about death with children, stand in the way of helping those who need the greatest support.
My name's Nicole. I lost my dad. My name is Lisa, and I lost my husband Al.
Out to break these taboos are groups like Good Grief, a support center in New Jersey where bereaved kids like Elizabeth and Sarah can talk about their loss with other children who've lost a loved one.
You still have a dad, he's just in heaven. He just passed away. You still do have a dad.
That sounds a nice way of putting it.
I think it's very brave of you kids to talk about it at school if you feel comfortable talking about it.
This is a safe environment for the kids to express their grief, a place where families can come together and connect with their memories.
We will always love and miss you for the rest of our lives. I miss you every second of the day. I love you. Love, Peanut.
Unfortunately, a large proportion of the nation do not have access to or are not aware of resources like Good Grief. But one organization that's trying to change all this is the New York Life Foundation, which has given more than $7 million since 2007 to help children who've suffered a loss.
This one really touched our hearts. We really believe that there should be more knowledge about this, certainly the number of kids who are in this situation, the kind of help they need, the way adults and other, parents and other caring adults should really react to young people and provide a safe haven for them to really grieve and deal with their loss.
The New York Life Foundation, together with the National Alliance for Grieving Children, has conducted a national survey that highlights the challenges parents face to help their kids deal with loss. They found that 77% find it hard to know what is normal kid behavior versus what is grief-related. 78% say there are not enough resources to help kids who've lost a parent. And almost half of those surveyed worry daily about how their children cope with the death of a parent. And nearly as many felt that their children's school was not well prepared to help with bereavement.
We're going to send the positive love and thoughts up to our loved ones. 1, 2, 3. All right, guys.
This is Comfort Zone Camp, free weekend camps that take in about 1,500 bereaved children every year. The New York Life Foundation gives generously to Comfort Zone Camp and other organizations like the Moyer Foundation's Camp Aaron. It is making a difference in the lives of Elizabeth and Sarah and hundreds of children like them by helping to provide an environment where they can be kids, a safe place to share their story, breaking the emotional isolation grief often brings, and making them aware that they are not alone.
They see there's 65 other kids here that have lost a parent or a sibling. And it's really the common denominator for them. It really propels their healing to just kind of come into a place where everyone goes, yep, I've been through this too.
I feel like everybody's equal here, and we all know what each other feel like, and every camp you go to, you leave happy, and it changes you in just that little weekend.
Every child who is grieving and have lost someone should have some type of access to either a comfort zone camp or a good grief or some type of bereavement program. And it has helped my children tremendously. I truly believe that with every bit of my soul.